Natalie, good morning.
Good morning, Kiba. That's right. A lot of people don't realize that it's a lot of money to buy a hybrid or a more fuel-efficient vehicle. On average, spending over the course of time about $15,000 more for that vehicle, money that could be spent on gasoline if you have the fully leaded portion of the vehicle market. We at News 10 pride ourselves on protecting the environment, of course, as well as saving money on gas, carbon footprint going away, but this hybrid here, these vehicles that we have all across town, is a lot of money, and that is money that we could have also spent on technology, things to collect information. So it's, what do you want? What do you take pride in more? I went to the expert. Steve Karn owns Japanese Service Center in Sacramento. He says the best cars on the road might be right in your driveway, saying that hybrids cost about $10,000 more up front, and after about 5 to 8 years, a driver will pay about $5,000 more for a new battery. Compare that to his 1970 Honda 600. It is in Steve's shop. It's being fixed up, but this two-cylinder is more efficient than the best hybrid on the market, getting about 50 miles per gallon. That's 50 as in 50 per gallon. It rivals the Toyota Prius, even though the new Prius has less overall or fewer maintenance problems.
Actually, you know, especially like with the Priuses, brakes, they have a regeneration transmission that when you hit the brake pedal, it's using the transmission to slow down. You really don't wear brakes out. They don't have timing belts. They're chain motors. They pretty much just need oil changes, and every 30,000 miles need a service. But they're generally pretty cheap to maintain until you get to that age where they need batteries. That's when it's big bucks.
Big bucks, and it is, some would say, worth it to protect Mother Nature. Or would you rather save Mother Nature or save your wallet? Well, that's why we are live out here, this being the best place to go for yet another version of that answer. Take a look at that building back there. If you recognize it, good for you. If you don't, we'll explain it coming up in about a half an hour. I'm Natalie Sense. Back to you in the studio.
All right, Natalie, let's take a quick look at our, is it worth it? Will you actually save money if you drive a hybrid?
Well, and it depends on what your goal is. If you're wanting to protect the environment, if you want to protect your back pocket, if you want to reduce your carbon footprint, we came to the experts. This is SMUD's headquarters, and they are who the car companies, the manufacturers, go to say, will you do some research? Will you make some of these prototypes here and then get back to us on that and tell us what you think? That's why I have Daniel Gallagher here with me, who's going to try to answer that. What do you have all sorts of vehicles that are electric and hybrid in your fleet. Good morning, Daniel.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. Tell us, what would people get out of it if they get a hybrid versus the fully loaded vehicles?
Well, with a normal internal combustion engine, you've got the emissions, you've got the gas prices. We're all looking at gas prices right now. We're almost at $4 a gallon. So what we're really looking at with the vehicles today, the Chevy Volt or the Nissan Leaf that are available at the dealerships, is you're looking at about $300 in electrical charging versus $1,800 gas on an annual basis.
So you're spending $300 a year versus $1,800 a year in terms of electricity and mileage versus gas.
Exactly. The new transportation, the new technology of these vehicles today in the transportation sector is really looking at replacing petroleum or augmenting it with electricity. So let's start thinking about electricity as a fuel.
What are we looking at here? These are the Priuses that you've kind of retrofitted and made them even more amazing.
Well, what I like to say is SMUD got involved in really testing the technology to prove to the manufacturers and the community that this technology is viable. What's great is just around Christmas time, you can go to your dealership and pick up a Chevy Volt. If you pre-ordered, you can also pick up a Nissan Leaf. So the technology and the vehicles are here, and it's a really exciting time for transportation.
Looking at this email, this just came into us, this being from Deb Penny. She's talking about that she just bought a VW Sportswagen Jetta turbo diesel, and she's saying, look, we got this because diesel is about the same cost of gas right now, and the maintenance, she says, on the diesel vehicles is less money than it would be on, say, a hybrid.
Well, I'm not an expert on the maintenance part of it, but definitely with diesel you can have longer intervals between maintenance, so that might be part of the savings. What she's talking about with as far as comparing it to, hey, what about the hybrids today, is in a standard Toyota Prius, I've driven to the Bay Area and back and gotten 50 miles per gallon round trip. So there is still significant savings with the hybrid new technology. Diesel is good as well, but if you're really thinking about the environment, you're going to want to go electric.
And talking to an expert, thank you very much, Daniel. Talking to an expert earlier today, he was saying that it costs you about $15,000 more per vehicle if you get a hybrid versus the one that is not a hybrid, really. When it comes to $10,000 up front and then an additional $5,000 at the lifetime of the battery when you need to replace it in 5 to 8 years. So always a lot of stuff to take into consideration, especially this early in the morning. But we're live at SMUD headquarters in Sacramento. I'm Natalie Sens. Back to you in the studio.